Hey everybody, welcome back to 13 Rings, an NFC East podcast. We are recording after week 3, and week 3 brought a lot of joy and a little bit of tears. But before we get into that, I just want to remind everybody that's listening, whatever platform you're listening on, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, because it helps us provide higher quality content to you guys if you guys make sure that you subscribe and share and all that good stuff for us. That being said, this week, Mouse still on her vacation. She sends her best regards, and I'm sure she's happy that the Giants won. But we have Becca, who has been our 5th member of this podcast team. She, quiet member for the most part, making our memes for us. So if you guys, enjoyed our memes, want to give Becca a shout out on this episode, make sure you leave a comment. Becca, are you glad to be back on the pod?
Absolutely.
We are glad to have you back, despite you already roasting us before we get on here. That being said, before we get into the games, we got to review our predictions. So, Becca, you know that Mal made these predictions for the Giants, and the rest of us did. So, let's go. For week 3, we all had the Giants losing, even Mal, against the Cleveland Browns. I think it's safe to say the Cleveland Browns are not the team that we all expected them to be at the beginning of the season.
Agreed.
Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys, everybody besides Earl had them losing. And Earl, I'm sorry.
It's all good. I had a feeling we would lose.
And then we had the Commanders, and including myself, we also had them all losing, and that did not happen. I'm glad that prediction did not become true, though. I'm very glad about that. Not going to complain. And last but not least, week 3, Maurice had the Eagles losing, but the rest of us had them winning. Maurice, you don't even have faith in your own team.
You're welcome, Maurice.
I'll talk about it.
Yeah, well, actually, how about you just introduce us about the Eagles, because they were one of the 2 first games played. How about you go ahead and dive into that?
All right, so I had the Eagles losing this one because they never played well in New Orleans in the Superdome. But things changed, and the Eagles went down there in New Orleans, and they won 15-12. This was a defensive battle, I'll say that. There was a lot of things that happened in this game, and so I'll break it all down. So let me start by saying, I'm sorry, Becca, but Saquon Barkley is a special running back. And
Maurice, were you about to say broccoli?
I said Barkley. I don't know why, but I was going to say Charles Barkley. I don't know why. But that's basketball. But anyway, Saquon had an amazing game. He's an amazing running back, and I think we're all starting to see his true talent now with an improved offensive line. He showed out. 17 carries, 147 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Obviously, that 65-yarder changed the game for the Eagles because we were shut out going into the fourth quarter, and Saquon broke a 65-yarder, and they were off to the races after that. Real quick, Jalen Hurts, 29 for 38, 311 yards passing, and he had another interception. That was something I talked about with Jalen going into this season. He has to cut down his turnovers. He had an interception and a fumble.
I was about to say, doesn't he have more interceptions than games played at this point?
Say again?
Doesn't he have more interceptions than games played at this point?
Yes, he does. Yes.
What did we tell you, Maurice? What did me and Earl tell you about Kellen Moore?
No, I wouldn't put that on Kellen Moore. I mean, he's just making some passes that are just boneheaded passes. The interception, threw it to Devontae Smith. It was a little bit of a miscommunication, but you still can't throw the ball into double coverage in the red zone like that. So I wouldn't even put that on the coordinator. I put that on Jalen himself. He's got to be more careful. He's a little bit reckless right now with the football.
High risk, high reward.
But in the second half, he really turned it on, and still passed for 311 yards. He was 29 for 38. Good numbers, but in the second half, he was a little bit more careful with the football, and it showed. And also, they ran the ball more, too. That helps. So, for Jalen, he's still got some things to work on. He has to get better, especially when it comes to decision-making. and he's got to slow down on turnovers. The turnovers are going to kill us when the games really matter. But for right now, he's okay. He's okay. Dallas Goedert had a huge game. It was about time he showed up. Without AJ, Devontae Smith got knocked out on a questionable hit. I'll say that. But Dallas Goedert had 10 receptions for 170 yards. He had a 61-yard long pass play, reception play. Dallas Goedert is a talented, in my opinion. I'm not just being a homer. He's a top 5 tight end in the NFL. He just has to get targets. He just has to, get the ball thrown to him. It's hard to do that when you got AJ, Devontae, and Saquon catching the ball out of the backfield. But with that said, he's a very talented tight end. And when we needed him, he showed up. So salute to Dallas Goedert. Overall, the defense. I ripped the defense last week on this pod. Vic Fangio made some adjustments, and the defense looked darn near elite. They got pressure. Jalen Carter had a great game. Jordan Davis had a sack. Who else had a sack? Actually, Jordan Davis was the only one that had a sack. It seemed like he had a couple sacks, but he was the only one that registered a sack. But Jalen Carter was getting in the backfield almost every play. The secondary held up. Olave didn't really do much. He did have a touchdown. But besides that, he really didn't. He had 86 yards. He had 1 touchdown. Besides that, the defense came out and looked great. I can't really say anything bad about the defense this week. Really good job by Vic Fangio making the adjustments. I'll give him credit for that. The biggest issue with this game is our coach, Nick Sirianni. He could have cost, and actually, if it wasn't for Saquon and Dallas Goedert in the defense, he would have costed us this game. He literally just, I guess from last week and the drop pass by Saquon, I guess he said, "Hey, I'm gonna stay on one side. Either I'm going to be really aggressive or I'm going to be really conservative." And he was really aggressive with his play calling. Multiple 4th downs he went for where we should have kicked field goals. He declined a 56-yard field goal, but for some strange reason, he went for a 60-yard field goal. Obviously, Jake Elliott missed it. So altogether, Sirianni costed us 9 points in a game where we won 15-12. His decision-making as a coach has been horrific so far this season. I don't know if he's trying to get fired, but he would have been more than just a hot seat if he'd have lost his game. There would have been talks of him getting let go in the middle of the season, maybe like during the bye week or something. It was that bad. His coaching is going to cost us a game or two, and we cannot give up a game or two if we want to be, the number 1 seed and contend for a Super Bowl. So he has to get right, and he has to make the adjustments. And he can't cost his team games. I don't know if that means somebody else coming in and telling him, hey, you got to chill with some of this stuff. I don't know if that's the owner, GM. I don't know. But somebody has to tell him to slow his roll on these 4th downs and keep going for him. What went wrong for the Eagles? Injuries. We have some injuries right now. Lane Johnson has a concussion. Mikhail Becton has a finger injury. Devontae got knocked out with a concussion. AJ is still out with a hamstring. So we got some injuries to work on, especially on the offensive side. We're going to have to deal with that. What went right? Saquon and Dallas Goedert. Both of them showed out when we needed them to. And the player of the game, it was close between Saquon and Dallas Goedert, but I give it to Saquon for the 2 touchdowns. Those were, the deciding factor in the game. So, for me, the player of the game is Saquon. So, what do you guys think?
No, I think you hit it right on the head. Everything that's going wrong with the Eagles is the head coach here. I think unless you guys get to, the NFC Championship, I think regardless of how good you guys do in the season, it feels like Sirianni's on his way out. Whether that's during the season or after the season, it depends on how well you guys do. You guys are what, 1-2 right now? 2-1? 2-1. So right now you guys are still, at the top half of the NFC East. But if you guys slip at all, it's totally possible. I think Saquon, like you said, is easily the best player on your team now. It's not even close. He has a good offensive line, and he will go as far as you carry him. And just one other thing about Dallas Goedert, he went from not being in the top 5 in receiving yards for the NFC East in Week 2 to being second with that one game. Yeah, no, crazy. So just a shout out to him there.
Yeah. Earl, Becca, you got anything?
No, I can't think of anything that you didn't touch on.
All right.
But I also don't know who the Saquon Barkley guy is, so that's weird.
That's weird.
Oh,
yeah.
you have the same
All right,
amnesia
so we can
that
move on. Who's
Mal
next?
does.
Maurice,
Okay.
I got something.
Yep.
I got something. Yeah, you could say that the pressure's on Sirianni, but I would put it more towards the offensive coordinator as well. He's got to work with the head coach in figuring out the key common grounds. I tell you, Saquon, he's very impactful when you get the ball in his hands. When he's got the juice, you definitely know what you gotta feed him the rock. It's just the more and more you see, I think with some of the injuries, I hope Devontae Smith is all right because he took a nasty hit in the game. But you got to get your other guys involved. You can't rely on one player being out, and you got to see next man up. AJ wasn't there. Devontae got knocked out. Saquon made the play. Goddard went off. And that, when you watch it, the film, you can say, okay, I can get more involved with that. But it also teaches the team that if you run the football and then you work on stopping the run, you can go a mile away. Because that is like, when you get that down pat, you can have that as like really easy and smooth sailing compared to like throwing the ball all the time. You get figured out. But yeah, I give credit to the Eagles for finding ways to win the game when it seemed like there was no hope. So yeah.
Yep. And with that said, we can move on. Who's up next,
I
Becca?
believe Becca is up next.
Oh, that would be me.
Yes.
Okay, so Sunday, the Giants took on the Cleveland Browns, and they won. And unlike you four, I actually believed in them to win because Deshaun Watson deserves to win nothing.
I agree.
Yes.
Daniel Jones went 24 for 34, 236 yards, 2 touchdowns. So he's actually showing what his contract is almost worth. He needs to show more. And then Malik Neighbors had 2 touchdowns, and he had 78 yards. He was definitely the player of the week, even though I know we're not there yet. But they both showed off their skills. The defense did amazing. They showed what they were supposed to be when we paid Brian Burns, when we kept Kayvon and Dexter, and it was good to see them finally working together and keeping the Browns from running them over like previous teams. What I would say went wrong would be the opening kickoff because we have a terrible special teams. I don't know what we did to always have this terrible special teams because if we don't have Gunner, somebody's going to fumble the ball, and that this week it was Eric Gray. That was a great start to the game. I rewatched the game and I just kind of skipped the first few minutes because the Giants are going to do the Giants things, and that would be fumbling the opening kickoff or really any kickoff. And then Devin Singletary also fumbled a ball. So I need Motor to just keep his 2 hands on the ball. I think he's a great running back. I think he's worth the money we paid him. If he can just keep his hands on the ball and not fumble it, especially this coming week, what went right would definitely be Malik Neighbors. He is proving why he was the top receiver in the draft, at least in my opinion. With his 2 touchdowns, that amazing grab he took from the defender to keep Daniel Jones at no interceptions, something you can't say about some of these quarterbacks.
Excuse me, my quarterback has not thrown a single interception yet. this season. Just saying.
I said some of these. Did I say all three?
Okay. Just wanted to make sure we were clarifying who we were picking on.
And let's just be clear. The Giants defense couldn't stop the Commanders from winning, but they did stop them from scoring a touchdown. So let's
but you guys couldn't kick a field goal, so you know.
You know what? That is not on the Giants. That is on Brian Dable, and I will scream
that. Is he
that
not
to
in
the
charge
rooftop.
of the Giants head coach? Just say.
I was so mad. I was ready to just go down there and fire him myself, because when you have 52 people on your active roster and you know your kicker is hurt, you bring somebody up. But anyways.
Well, they did it this week. I saw that.
And he missed a field goal. So, we're just doing great in the kicker position.
It took us 5 tries to find our kicker, so, don't give up yet.
We do good with Graham Gano when he's not hurt, but past 2 years.
Anyway.
Yes. And then, like I already said, the player of the week to me would be Malik Neighbors. He's a beast. I'm so glad we drafted him. Even though Giants Twitter has been in an uproar since the game last night, and they're like, we should have gotten Jaden Daniels. And then it's
you guys weren't going to get Jaden Daniels.
Exactly. We were never getting Jaden Daniels, but they want to blame Tommy DeVito winning his Linsanity runs. We weren't getting Jaden Daniels. And even if we did, let's say we did, who's he going to throw the ball to?
He would be running for his life.
Exactly. They would not have a wide receiver one. He'd have to throw it far enough that he could run and catch it himself.
Yeah, no.
So,
yeah.
We got the best draft. We got the best person in the draft for our team. I don't care what other people say. I just had to say it because they were annoying me all day today.
Look, I think everybody after last night is kicking themselves about, Jaden Daniels, but I'll wait my turn on that. Let me break down the Giants for you guys. First off, I agree that was a good team win against probably one of the worst teams in the NFL. Good team win,
How are you
though.
going to say that the Browns are one of the worst teams in the NFL?
Dude, they are. Their defense is horrid after being elite last year. Their quarterback probably should not even be playing football. Let's be real.
Their quarterback should be in jail, but that's a different story.
Yeah. You said it first, but yes,
I will say it.
Yes, you are more than allowed to say that. Look, and at the end of the day, look, that team looks defeated. It doesn't look like they want. I saw a meme after week 1, and it was a meme of from The Hangover where he was like, "Look, we messed up." And it was like the Browns GM calling Baker Mayfield from the beginning of The Hangover. I don't know if you guys saw that movie. Yeah, so and I think they did mess up. They should have just stuck with Baker. They really should have. But, Baker's doing great things in Tampa now. Good for him. Who's playing? I think the Eagles are playing them next week. Have fun with that, Maurice. But anyway.
I forgot to touch on the defense.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I totally forgot. They might even be the players. If there was a group player of the week, it'd be the defense. 8 sacks.
I would say DeMarcus Lawrence if you're going to single out one guy.
Who's DeMarcus Lawrence?
I mean, not DeMarcus
Dexter
Lawrence.
Dexter
Lawrence, sorry.
Let's get the name of the best nose tackle correct, okay? So Dexter Lawrence, he had 2 sacks. I also loved Elijah Chapman because he was an undrafted free agent who got on the 53 because of a preseason game, and then he sacked Deshaun Watson yesterday. And it was so great to see the whole team just surround him and be excited for him. So, yeah, the defense was also a bright star. 8 sacks. Brian Burns did the strip fumble. And then Chapman fell on top of the ball to give us that possession right before half. That put us up 21.
Yeah. Look, I will say this. Malik Neighbors was the best choice for you guys. And he may single-handedly save Daniel Jones' career.
Fine with me.
I know it's fine with you. No, I'm just saying, look, I mean, I'm not saying it's for certain, but look, if Malik can keep on doing what he's doing, it's going to make Daniel Jones' life a lot easier.
I think he will save his career, but I don't think he stays in Giants blue after this year, which makes me sad.
Are you still going to be a fan of him even if he goes to a rival?
He won't, because the rivals all have a quarterback, so I don't have to worry about that.
No, that's fair.
So he won't be dead to me like some weird Barkley person or whatever.
We call him Broccoli. Everybody else besides Maurice calls him Broccoli.
No, I call him Broccoli.
Wherever Daniel Jones goes next year, because I think he will go somewhere else, sadly, I will be rooting for him. unless he plays the Giants, because my heart lies with the Giants.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Anybody else want to add on to that?
Well, good win. Good win.
Yeah, good win.
I'll say this: Malik Neighbors is a superstar in the making. I'll say that.
Yes.
And I'll
Not
give
the only superstar in the making in the NFC East this year. Just saying.
And I give the Giants credit on their defense, their front four. Definitely, when they ignite pressure, they're wrecking stuff. So
Yeah, I'm hoping they come after Dak next.
We'll see. Only time will tell. How about less than 48 hours? So.
Oh yes, that's right. The game, we will get into that, previewing that at the end of the episode. But yes, the little divisional game coming up already. 2 divisional games in the first 4 weeks for you guys, Becca. That's a rough beginning of the season.
It seems to happen all the time.
Well, the coaches agree to it, so.
There's like division games early, and then it's like at the very end. Usually we play the Eagles within like 3 weeks of each other. Not this year, but.
Okay. Well, so anyway, this next segment is going to be brought to you by an angry Cowboys fan. No, I'm joking. But in all seriousness, Earl, this is your segment. We aren't going to interrupt you. The floor is yours, sir. Be cathartic as you need to.
Clear out.
Yeah, let's rock it. Basically, the Cowboys played the Baltimore Ravens, and it's to the point now that from what occurred, they started to make a comeback but came up short. They lost 28-25, where a game where I thought the Ravens was going to completely annihilate Dallas through 3 of the quarters, and then the 4th quarter they decided to wake up. It's a point now that I'm starting to understand that I think the team is quitting on Mike McCarthy. It's clear as day that with Mike McCarthy, he does not know how to get the fire in these guys. And I believe they're soft. They're a front-running team. And whenever they go up against the big bully, they get punched in the mouth, and then they hide their tail between their legs and crawl in the corner. This time around, I saw some room for improvements, especially with the defense. But it was just too much that was going on where the big play after a big play, the team just lose their confidence. They need to stop that. I know playing football, get punched in the mouth, you get back up, you go out there, you keep fighting. And I really didn't see that fight those first 3 quarters. Closer to the end, I saw some of the fight, but the damage was already done. One thing I could say about with what the team is going on is that the emotional state with the team, I feel like there's certain houses within the organization is burning. And one of those that I see, especially the head coaching, because I'm already to the point now that I'm already looking for head coaching replacements. And it's not that to the fact of McCarthy really doesn't get the best out of these guys. And it shows. Whenever they go up against top competition, they fold. And the more that I'm looking at it, I'm just tired. I'm tired of just seeing so much talent of Dallas being wasted. It hurts my heart to see so many players over the last couple of years not get where they need to be because it's something dealing with either front office or the coaching staff. I would say the best team that I've seen Dallas have is in a while. I would say it's back in 2014 because when I saw that team, they were physical. They had a tenacity about them. There wasn't any worry about football politics. Everybody earned their keep on the field. And just what I've seen over past, I've seen football politics. I've seen people not earn their spot. I haven't seen anybody compete for their spot. They're soft. And it's just really pathetic. No matter what coach comes in here, they really can't ignite that fuel with them because they got the head honcho of the front office not allowing the coaches to coach. And I feel like that is hurting them. But we got a short week, and we got the Giants coming up. But I'm going to go into some of the other things that I noticed from this game. What went wrong? The big plays on defense. I believe after when Mozzie got blown off the ball, you know what? I'm tired of Mozzie Smith. I think he's by far in the draft for Dallas. He's been a bust. So far from what I've seen, him just on his mindset to improve to be better really is not the case. And you could say maybe from his shoulder surgery. I don't think that's the case. I really don't think his heart is fully into it. And I'm just ready to just kind of just scrap him. Get some guys in here who can play the defensive tackle spot. I really think the defense is struggling from that front end because they don't have anybody that can man the middle. And from it, when that gets gashed, big plays happen. Derrick Henry went for 151 yards in this game, and Lamar Jackson went 87 yards, and Justice Hill went 33 yards for the Ravens, which pretty much totaled 238 rushing yards as a whole against the Dallas defense. By far, I believe the Dallas defense in run stopping is probably basically 32, dead last. And the more and more I see the dismantle of the defensive tackle room, trying to put so much faith in Mozzie Smith is hurting that room, but is hurting what potentially could be by far one of the most solid defenses, turning around from becoming a finesse team to being more of a physical team. When you really can't get physical in the trenches, you're just a wimp. Fatigue make cowards of you. And I believe Mozzie, he's getting fatigued too much, which makes him a coward. He's the only defensive tackle that is basically one that you feel can stop the run. Osa can't do it. He's more of a 3-tech. You're having a 3-tech play a 1-tech. You can't do that. You got to get those big monsters in the middle of the field. And I believe Dallas had that a couple years ago. But somewhere within the head coach and the coordinators, they let their future go to other teams. They had Bohanna. They had Ridgeway. Guys that can control that middle of the field, they lost that. I'm still heated over that. I'm already working with Lucas trying to see if I can do like a mock trade to get one of their guys to at least help the front.
You can have John Allen. Give me either a corner or a safety.
I'll trade you Malik Hooker.
Let me confer with my front office and I'll get back to you on that.
All right.
Might want to pick in there too.
Hey, I'll throw in a third or a fourth. We'll see.
I'll take a third.
But back to what I was saying, where I saw room for improvement in the defense, but when the big play happened, when Mozzie got blown off the ball, that's when the big plays happen. I saw some of the corners contain their set to avoid the outside run, but it's just a lot of just mishap and under scheming that is hurting this defense. And I'm fearful that if they can't figure this out soon before it gets too late, they're going to be sitting, not even going to the playoffs. And then I'm going to shift over to the offensive side.
Hang on, Earl. You don't think you think there's a world where the Cowboys don't make the playoffs this year?
You know, if they're not able to fix with what they have going forward and teams know what to do and they can't stop it, I really don't see them making the postseason because from what I've seen from the last two games, I can even throw in the first game. I really think they let their foot off the gas in the first game, but they let success get to their head, and then when it smacks them in the mouth, they fold. And until I see something different, this is going to be a rough season. And I wouldn't be surprised if they lost to the Giants on Thursday. I would not be surprised because the amount of situation that occurs with what they've shown the last two games, you could say it's upset alert, but it's one that's already on fire. If they lose to the Giants, head coach got to get moved.
Ooh, so you say if they go 1-4 to start,
Or
the, no,
one and
what is it,
five.
1-3 to start the season, because after that it would be week 4. So
Look, if they lose to the Giants, they lose to Pittsburgh, and they lose to Detroit, that bye week, I think they move the head coach.
who takes over?
I think Al Harris takes over as interim,
Ooh,
and then move Brian Schottenheimer to offensive coordinator, which I would be okay with because I believe the team respects Al Harris, and I think they will play tough for him. But from what I've seen from Mike McCarthy, it doesn't change. He's a stale stiff on the sideline. I honestly believe that the team played harder with Jason Garrett, and he hand clapped.
wow. And so you think it was a mistake that they did not fire McCarthy at the end of this last season?
I believe so. I wouldn't give him the benefit of the doubt from 2020 because Dak got hurt, but anywhere between from 2021 where you come out flat against the Niners at home. For some reason, whenever they're at home in the postseason, they're not ready. And it's just driving me crazy seeing the amount of talent that keeps not being ready for the big moment, which I know they can be ready for the big moment. You couldn't tell me otherwise. But then you want to have a passing offense where you can't get anything going. You're starting off slow when the season happens. Why would you get a new center and a left tackle? You're going to put pressure on Dak Prescott, and then it's to the point that you come up with stale plays. I would give Kellen Moore some credit that he had some creative plays till they figured them out. But you got to go back to the basics to protect your quarterback. If you know that Dak Prescott is a play-action quarterback, you give him a run game. You got these big behemoths on the offensive line where Cooper Beebe can move people off screen. You got Tyler Guyton that can move people off screen. You got Tyler Smith to move people off screen. Zach Martin's long in the tooth, but he could probably move people off screen if you run the football. And it would help Terrence Steele coming off an ACL tear. You have all these mechanics going. And if you really don't want to get a big name running back, then do running back by committee and you run the rock. If you got to get 3 running backs or 4 running backs to run the rock, I'm cool with that because at least I know that they're playing physical football, and I'm not seeing that from the offense. I'm just going to shift over to the good. I got too much, and I'm going to start cussing, and I don't want to do that.
Thank you, sir.
The one thing that was good, I was happy to see Jake Ferguson back on the field. He had to show up because there was no other people that could get separation to help Dak Prescott out. Jake Ferguson had 6 receptions for 95 yards. His longest was 26 yards. He had 11 targets. CeeDee Lamb, oh boy. I'm already to the point now that CeeDee Lamb should relinquish the number 88. Because
that is a mic drop.
Because I believe give him the number that he wanted. Send him back to number 9 back in college. Or give him 10. He doesn't deserve 88. Because I can't even call him a prima donna. I can't even call him a diva. This dude is a crybaby. Every time when I see him play in a big game, I don't see anything. And I'm trying to figure out, man, what is the reason for that? And I'm just like, even his rookie year, I saw it. Into the second year, third year, fourth year. And now, the way he acted in this game was clear inexcusable. I was sad to see that. Yeah, you got your bag, bro. I get that. When the challenge get tough, you got to rise up. And for some reason, he can't shake it. But he's the one that said he wanted to be more mature. This was your time, dog. You're getting mad at Dak Prescott over not getting him the ball. Why would he give you the ball when you fumble in the red zone? Why would he give you the ball if you get 6 drops in the game? That's not trust. And maybe him not being in training camp, that's the reason. But I saw Jalen Tolbert step up. I seen Jalen Brooks step up. Hunter Lukey caught some passes. Deuce caught a pass. Kavontae Turpin caught a touchdown. I'm seeing all these other guys in camp get involved in this game, and they fail. And all you need is CeeDee Lamb to hold on to the ball. Who knows? This would have turned the outcome of the game because you were down to score. You fumble the ball, they go down and score. You're in a dark hole now. You're coming from behind. I give Dak Prescott credit to fight through. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. So I give him his credit. I have one more thing to say about the defense under Micah Parsons. Bro, you need to go back to linebacker. This whole situation, you playing on the edge, you're undersized, bro. You're not a Myles Garrett. You got to go back to your position of linebacker because that's going to get you to where you need to be. You're thinking you're going to get paid for edge money? Oh, no, my friend. They're not giving you edge money. They're going to give you linebacker money. Because even at that point, you haven't shown enough or more to have immediate impact at the edge because they figured you out. You need to go back to standing linebacker. You can run sideline to sideline. That's your DNA. You couldn't tell me otherwise. If they would have kept him at linebacker, he would have had a generational years after year after year on his speed and instinct. He's ruining his own legacy by thinking he's an edge rusher. He has pass rush tendencies. I give that to him. But you run sideline to sideline, I would love to have his talent. Because I know linebacker is that spot that can expand your mind to the horizon to get you where you need to be. They saying giving him comparisons to Lawrence Taylor, stop it. He don't deserve that recognition. Everybody's gonna have to show me something this season. If I'm a Debbie Downer this whole season, this team's got to show me that they can rise over this adversity and show up when it matters most. My player of the game is Brandon Aubrey. This guy's been automatic, and the more and more I see him play, the more confidence he gets. He hit a 65-yarder. He's close to breaking that record, and I believe he can get that. Salute to you, Brandon Aubrey, and I have an honorary mention to Dak Prescott because you didn't quit when your homeboy CeeDee Lamb did. All right, I digress, y'all.
Thank you, Earl. Gosh, that's a lot. I can't say that I necessarily disagree on anything. Look, I think that you're dead on when you say that, Mike McCarthy could get fired if you guys don't have a winning record by the time you guys get through your first 6 games. That being said, I don't think I can really follow up anything else with that. Maurice or Becca, do you guys have anything to add?
I vote that Earl becomes the head coach of the Cowboys.
I mean, I don't think that the Cowboys fans would be against that. Look, Earl, we love it when you get into the heart of things. We love the passion there for sure. Maurice,
I have really nothing else to add. I think that little blow up they had on the sideline. Did you think it was anything more to it, or you think it was just the competitive moment of the game, Earl?
I would have gave CeeDee Lamb the benefit of the doubt if he was out there making plays. When the ball went his way, he dropped it. When the ball went his way, he fumbled in the red zone. And he wants to pout over that. And then I'm like, I know his mother raised him right. Because for him to say that Dak isn't it, he gave her son a chance and he just folded. So maybe he just got to go back to the fundamentals, working with his mom on mental, physical toughness, because no player should act like that and then say like, okay, you give me the rock, I'm going to do something. I didn't see that in CeeDee Lamb. And the frustrating thing about it is that I used to play football. I used to get frustrated when I see my teammate acting like a crybaby on the sideline. I had to lock in and get in this dude's face because I'm like, yo, you're bigger than that. And I don't know, maybe it's just the football within me, Because when I see that on the sideline, it shows that, okay, CD, you in your head, bro. You got to get out your head, man. When the team is rallying, you need to get out of your head. And it's just crazy to see right now. I hope they're on track in a short week. I'm just tired of the slow start with the offense, and I'm tired of McCarthy being the play caller. I would say Kellen Moore had an unfair situation dealing with that, where at least you could have helped him in calling plays to maximize his talent. But all you did was have him just get baptized by fire and just let this man just completely leave him to the dust. And I felt that was unfair to him. But yeah, Mike McCarthy is like old graham crackers when it calls to calling plays. He's a stale old man. And you're lucky. I would have gotten to Zimmer today, but he's just same old after last week. He's like one of them SpongeBob fishes in the retirement home.
Dang. Becca, last question, then we're going to move on.
I was just asking, they just paid CD too, right?
They paid Dak and CD.
So
and they're thinking they're going to pay
Micah?
Micah. I don't think he's going to get the big time dollars, because if he hasn't shown up in big games. That's for another episode. I'm done. Lucas, go ahead with your team.
Okay, buddy. Thank you for that. Look, I'm on cloud nine. Look, and Earl, you're my brother from another mother. But when the Cowboys lose and Washington wins, it's a good week for me.
And when I see Major Tutty on the screen, it warms my heart.
I bet it does. Look. But in all seriousness, look. Commanders win in a very, high-powered offense game. Bengals offense destroyed our defense. I'll get into that. But let's talk about the offense first. Let's get into what went wrong first. Look, our defense is still trash. Let's be absolutely clear. This season could be something special for Jaden Daniels, but if it's not, it's going to be because of the defense. We do not have the right personnel. Old guys like Jonathan Allen, Daron Payne, they're not stepping up. Our safety room, we just have guys that can hit each other. They can't really anticipate passes. They can't really they get blown by in coverages. I need somebody else there. I want to see Tyler Owens get a shot. That's a big thing. Cornerbacks. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I kind of actually miss Emmanuel Forbes, because at least he could stay with the opposing offensive player. Mike Davis is terrible. They even tried Mike Sarenstill on the outside, which was a terrible mistake. He's a nickelback for a reason, guys. Let's just leave him there. So, look, I think there's that. So that and like I said, we're getting run over by like Zach Moss, who, no disrespect, he's not like a top 10 running back in the NFL. So like, when it comes down to it, look, our defense is still has a lot of holes in there. I want to see some guys get some run, some young guys. Jerzon Newton started to look better. Jean Baptiste got his first sack against Mims, who was a first-round pick, and Baptiste was a seventh-round pick, so that made me feel good. I think Baptiste is about to turn a quarter there in terms of pass rushing. We'll see. So, look, the defense needs a lot of work. That's pretty much it. That's my negative. Now, let's get to the positive here, because there's a lot. There's never been a rookie quarterback in NFL history that has completed a higher percentage of passes than Jaden Daniels in that game. And we finally saw him and Terry connect on deep routes. That's what we've been missing for the first two games. They got the chemistry now. Jaden missed him on the first drive, went back to him the next drive, got a almost touchdown. Got a third and long. He got another touchdown. He got a touchdown to Terry McLaurin despite taking the big hit. Look, Jaden Daniels, I'm trying not to get overly hyped here, but like if he can continue to play like this, like his completion percentage is one of the best three in NFL history, modern NFL history, through the first three games, ahead of Tom Brady and only trailing Drew Brees in terms of completion percentage. The guy's highly accurate. He does not turn the ball over. He rarely makes a dangerous pass. He knows what he needs to do. He's starting to, one of the best things that I saw is that he's still running the majority of times when he's like when he breaks out of the pocket, he's looking to run. But there are starting to be glimpses now where he is starting to actually be able to look down the field and pass. And he's starting to spread the wealth a little bit. He got Luke McCaffrey involved a few times. Zach Ertz, Noah Brown. Like, these are the things that we need from him in order for him to show that he's one of these guys. Like, look, it's still a long way to go. The offensive line, shout out to them. They played great. I think, they played as well as anybody would suspect they would. A lot different from last year, for sure. So I can't say that the guy that Johnson, the offensive line coach we got from the Giants, I don't think he's the problem that was hitting you guys last year. But I don't know, guys. It's just I'm very excited. I'm very excited about this. We beat the Bengals. The Bengals, despite being 0-3, are not a pushover team. They still have an elite offense. We were able to outscore them, and that makes me feel good. And then. The running back room, now the bad is Austin Eckler does have a concussion. Hopefully he'll be back, but he went back to DC. I don't think he's going to go out to Arizona. And now we got to wait and see on him, but Brian Robinson, he had a rushing touchdown. Jaden Daniels had a rushing touchdown. Austin Eckler had a rushing touchdown. These young guys are really trying to prove themselves. They look great. I don't know what else to say about Jaden Daniels. I don't know. You guys want to chime in? Player of the game, Jaden Daniels, hands down.
I will say this about Jaden Daniels. He's shown me a lot early on, and I wasn't expecting that. Still rushing the ball a little too much for me, but the arm is official. I like his arm.
Yeah, I'm sure I think he's going to start getting more and more comfortable, and so he'll be running less and less. Becca, did you want to chime in?
I just wanted to say I don't think Cincinnati's defense is an elite defense.
I never said their defense was. I said their offense.
You said their offense was. Okay, yes. Sorry. I was like, their defense is like.
No, their defense is trash. No, but still.
No, I mean, Joe Burrow's a good quarterback for the most part when it doesn't come to important games.
Except now that he looks like Pete Davidson, and that's kind of weird for me.
But yeah, I agree that I think Jaden runs too much because when you're a running quarterback, you're more susceptible to injuries. The commies are the ones that I hate the least in the division, so I'm very happy you guys got a quarterback that you like. But, I mean, yeah, I just think he runs too much. I agree with that, too.
Earl, anything to say, bud?
Yeah, I give him his credit this week. Yeah, he definitely looked a lot better, and just his connection with him and Terry McLaurin, yeah, that's something that's really solid that can really help you guys, and just getting your running backs involved. One thing that I noticed from this game, I watched the game, and the first game in NFL history, y'all had 0 punts and 0 turnovers, and
we've had 2 games in a row. The
first time that's happened in NFL since 1940.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is also 2 games in a row that we've had no punts, no turnovers.
Hey, that's credit to y'all. And
the only times that drives have not ended in a score is because we kneeled down to run out the clock.
No, I got you, man. And hey, the more and more that y'all are working together, the more and more y'all are gonna gel together, and that's something that it happens weekly. So, yeah, man, y'all should be excited with how things are going right now. So
yeah, and I got to shout out Cliff Kingsbury too. He started opening up the playbook a little bit more, and it's looked great.
Yeah, he has no choice because I wouldn't be surprised he's on the hot seat.
No, he just started there. He's not on the hot seat.
No, I mean in general, getting him going. Because I mean,
getting him on. Yeah, hot. You mean
getting him hot? Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Because at some point it'd be a concern, but you just got to continue to keep easing Daniels into it, and just teach the man how to slide. And
he's sliding a lot or tumbling. He's not trying to take too many big hits. I think he only took 1 big hit last night.
But I just don't. For me, I know I don't like y'all, but I don't want any of y'all guys to get hurt. I just don't want him to get hit like a humanized cartoon in the NFL.
Yeah, no, I got you. Fair enough. But let's go ahead and switch to our social media stuff. And Maurice, I believe you're up first. Did we get anything in the mailbag this week?
We got one question, and I think this is a very good question. Our mailbag, NFC East mailbag this week. Our question is, After 3 weeks, who is the better rookie? Jaden Daniels or Malik Neighbors?
Oh, that it's Jaden Daniels.
League.
Okay, Becca. Okay. Do you honestly believe it's Malik Neighbors over Jaden Daniels?
Yes. I will. Yes.
Well,
Now,
you
am I
are
a
entitled
little
to your
biased?
wrong opinion.
It's very close, Lucas.
Yeah, like you have to give. Yes, Jaden Daniels is showing to be a good quarterback, but like Malik Neighbors is making plays, and Malik Neighbors, he's doing the thing. He's the better rookie. I think it's very close. No, I think it's
I
really
just
close.
say the most important position on the field is quarterback. Jaden
Okay.
Daniels has proven to be a dual threat quarterback that is highly accurate.
I don't know. I think Malik Neighbors is a freak.
Okay.
Like in a good way. Like he's a freak in a good way.
Can I start calling you Simpson because you're being a little bit of a homer here?
Hey, that's fine with me.
Are you a homer, Lucas?
Yes,
Hey,
he is.
the number. Hey, Malik hasn't done anything historic. Jaden Daniels
Yes,
has
he
done.
did.
Wait,
historic-
hold on, time out.
Are you kidding me?
Hold
Did you
on,
just
Becca.
say
I'm gonna
Malik?
shut this down. Hold on. Who did Jaden Daniels throw to in college?
We're talking about the NFL, not college.
I'm telling you right now. How did he get going? How did he get his Heisman?
Malik Neighbors.
Case closed. Now
Also,
look, both of them are in LSU. Both of them are kind of in the middle, especially with what they're doing in the NFC East. So we just got to see how it plays off on how their time is going to go during the season. I would say by the time of mid-season or later, then you can make that judgment.
I need to say
Okay, fair
something.
enough.
I need to correct Lucas because Lucas said he has not done any whatever. What did you say? He has
not put himself in the NFL.
He has made history. Giants
How?
Malik Neighbors has become the youngest wide receiver all time with 2 receiving touchdowns in a game.
Oh, you know what? You are.
Eat your words.
Okay,
Eat
you're
'em.
right. You're right.
I
Here's
will
my
defend
counterpoint to
him
that.
forever.
Here's my counterpoint.
Throw
I
some
already
cheese
said this
on
stuff
it.
at the beginning, so that's one. Jaden has done 3. He's the first rookie quarterback to make his debut and have over 80 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. He's also the first rookie quarterback to have the highest completion percentage in a single game, and through 3 games, he has the second highest in NFL history to start a season. Only ahead of Tom Brady and only behind Drew Brees.
Okay, so to start a season, like Earl said, let's go to mid-season to the end of the season and see who's better because Malik Neighbors is on the way to 17 touchdowns this year. If he keeps this
he could be on pace for over 1,000 yards too.
Exactly. So fine. Right now, I'll give it a tie with a little bias towards Leak. But by the end of the year, you're going to be eating your words, and Malik Neighbors is going to get Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Okay, but if you are eating your words, you got to eat that crow too.
Deal. I don't care. I'll defend the Giants till I die. I don't care if we go 0-17.
All right.
Stand on it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, so let's move on. Earl, it's your favorite segment.
Not this week. It's that who's that football player? This football player on the Washington Football Wizards, the Commanders.
Oh my gosh.
This Washington Commanders football player back in 2006 had 32 carries for 351 yards.
Receptions, not carries. That was a typo on my part.
You're killing me, Smalls.
I'm sorry.
All right, so 32 receptions.
Yes.
32 receptions, 351 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had 18 carries for 118 yards, 39
punt
returns for 342 yards and 1 touchdown. He had a 66.7 completion percentage, 88 yards, 1 touchdown. His career awards as a 1-time Super Bowl champion. Guys and gal, who's that football player?
All right, Maurice, who do you think it is?
I'm going to be honest. I have no clue.
All right, I think I know who it is.
Becca?
That's what I was going to say. I have no idea.
Yeah, I use the jack of all traits here. Earl, who do you think it is? Because you usually get these right.
Antoine Randall.
That is absolutely correct. It is Antoine Randall. Yeah, there were several people that got it correct on Facebook. Shout out to them.
Salute.
You know who you are. But yeah, no, I thought that was a good one. Because he literally did a little bit of everything that season. He caught the ball. He carried the ball. He punt returned. He even passed 3 passes.
Yeah, I saw him do that in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, no, he was a unique player for sure. That being said, though, let's go to the poll question, Earl. And there are 2 Cowboys poll questions, right?
Wait, there was 2?
Yeah, I made one, and then the one that you asked for. I made one before the one that you asked for.
The first poll question, this was dealing with the Week 3 matchup against the Ravens. The question was, who will have a breakout game in Week 3 for the Cowboys? There were 7 votes, with 57% Dak Prescott, 0% for Ezekiel Elliott, 43% for Micah Parsons. Well, from what I saw, Dak almost threw for 400 yards against the Ravens, and they weren't like easy throws. They were tight throws. So, yeah, Dallas is lacking separation, and hopefully they can do something by the time the trade deadline.
All right, and then the poll that you requested for now. I believe this is the first poll you have ever requested for me to post, so yep. I'm interested.
And Maurice, Lucas didn't choose this one. This one was on me.
Because I know Maurice, and I know Maurice is going to be like, "Oh, this is a Lucas poll." No, it's not.
Okay.
You're laughing. I'm being serious. I'm sick and tired of being blamed for some of these poll questions.
He was like Jordan. He took it personally.
I did take it personally.
All right, so this poll question I came up with is, who is the Dallas Cowboys' biggest enemy? 60% say Jerry Jones, 10% say Stephen Jones, and then 30% says both. And there was 10 votes for that.
I was one of the 10 for both.
Thank you.
So basically, it's a Jones.
Mm-hmm. Is it one Jones or both? My choice was both because I feel Jerry's like the ringleader of it. Stephen Jones, he really doesn't know football enough. That's why I'm fearful after Jerry walks the rainbow. Stephen Jones is going to be abysmal to run the team. So I'm already to the point now, before Jerry goes, he should go ahead and sell the team. Because I don't think his son is capable of running this organization to what it was as Jerry when he first got the organization, where I still think his daughter should be running things, but giving it to the heir of the son is just, I call that wee-woo, where give your daughter a shot. So,
fair enough. But let's get to the trivia question now. This is a Giants trivia question, so let's see how much Becca knows about her Giants history. So, question was, who's the longest tenured coach, including pre-Super Bowl era, in New York Giants franchise history? Becca, do you know the answer to this?
You got to take a shot because you said pre-Super Bowl, right?
Yes, pre-Super Bowl is included on this, yes.
Then it's going to be that one old guy, Owen.
I need the first name.
Steve?
Yes, Steve.
Yes!
It is Steve Owen.
You ain't give anyone else a shot, sir.
Oh, come on. She's a guest. She's a special guest. She gets to have the first shot.
Let me have something. We're 1-2. Let me have something.
Though I will say Giants Facebook got very involved on this. I'm very proud of Giants Facebook. Shout out to you guys. You guys aren't usually involved. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, Steve Owen coached, I believe, from 1930 to 1952.
1931 to 1953. It was a total of 23 seasons.
You are correct. Thank you for the correction there. Yes.
Yep.
That is a long time.
I think Bill Parcells was second to that, or Tom?
No. It was Tom Coughlin.
Tom Coughlin, then Parcells?
Yeah, Parcells was third, yeah. Yeah, though somebody else said Ali Sherman, and I don't know who that is. Ali Sherman. I don't know who that is.
Oh, yeah, he was there from 61 to 68.
Earl, how do you know all this?
Earl, are you like an encyclopedia of random football facts?
Yeah, he really is.
I love football. Like, if you want to talk ball, Yeah.
I've only stumped Earl like maybe 3 times on these trivias.
And I was like,
over
never.
a year.
I was like, never again.
Though I
Maybe
did
I
stump
need
him on a
to-
Cowboys one recently, which I feel very proud of.
I was one off. So, yeah, I'll give that to you. But good job getting the answer to the trivia, Becca.
Next time I'm gonna have to like pick your brain for drafting my fantasy teams, I guess.
Becca, you are leading our fantasy league right now. What are you talking about?
I'm
You're
not
the only undefeated.
Listen, only in ours am I doing this well, and I think it's just because the world feels bad for me for being a Giants fan.
No, that's
You
not
guys,
true.
you guys aren't the worst team in the division right now.
I understand, but like I'm still kind of reliving last year, the opener game, all that stuff.
Fair enough. All right, Maurice, how about you preview week 3 and play us out?
Yeah, so big game Thursday night. Giants, Cowboys.
I'm excited for this one.
This is going to be good. They're at New York, right?
Yep.
Okay, so this is a big game. This is a turnaround game for the Cowboys, or this is a statement game for the Giants. One of the two. But what do you guys think about this game?
It's going to be good. I'm going to be having my popcorn and waiting for Earl to call me during halftime.
I'll be having a panic attack the whole time.
Well, I'll be getting home from work around the time of the game, so my honest take on this, if they come out the first 3 quarters like how they did against the Saints and the Ravens, the Giants will beat the Cowboys. But I honestly don't know what team is going to show up in New York, so it'll be interesting to see.
Earl, when was the last time Dak Prescott lost to the Giants?
In 2016?
2017?
2016?
Yeah. So I
that
think you're okay.
That was his rookie year, but still, it's not him. I'm more concerned with the defense.
All right.
And,
well, we will see. But Maurice,
if they lose, I think McCarthy's job is definitely he gonna be roasting marshmallows like
is he
real
the hottest?
quick.
Is he on the hottest of seats in the NFL if he loses?
Absolutely, and Sirianni is chilling right behind him.
I think
speaking of Sirianni,
it's going to come down, though, to who's more angry. Because the Cowboys have a lot to prove because they've lost.
Oh, yeah, they
games.
heated.
Yeah, exactly. They're mad. But then
I just don't know what team is going to show up.
Yeah, like the Giants just beat the Browns. If our defense shows up like they did this last week, then it's really a toss-up. And then we need Daniel Jones to be able to stay in that pocket like he was this week. If they can do what they did last week, they got a chance. They got a good chance.
Oh, no,
but
I agree.
Becca's hyping it up.
Look,
but Maurice, Earl was talking about Nick Sirianni being in the next hottest seat. Who are you all playing this week?
We are going another NFC South game. So we're going to Tampa Bay, and we're playing the Buccaneers. This is a revenge game for the Eagles.
Redemption.
Playoff rematch.
Playoffs?
Yeah.
You're killing me?
Playoffs. Playoffs. We're talking about playoffs?
Playoffs?
Yeah, so if Sirianni loses this game in a similar fashion, Maurice, is he on a hotter seat? Is he on a...
For the Eagles, it depends on how we lose. If it's a coaching mishap, then yeah.
And
if it's... Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, Maurice, I've been holding this in. I talked to Lucas about this. I honestly don't believe Sirianni would get fired. But if Kellen Moore calls one of them games like he did in week 2 and something like this repeatedly happens, I low-key call Kellen Moore the head coach killer.
No, it's fair. It's fair. But what's the last matchup here, Maurice?
Commanders at Arizona Cardinals.
Now, you don't think that's a revenge game, but it is for one person on that coaching staff. Cliff Kingsbury. Let's go. Let's get that man a win in his old stomping ground. Look, I think it's going to be a fun matchup. Kyler Murray's looking great this year. The Cardinals are a little bit spunky right now. Let's see what happens. It's a toss-up for me. Let's see what happens. I hope that we win, though.
Yeah, they run the football.
Yeah. So, anyway, that being said, Maurice, play us out, bud.
All right. We want to thank everybody for listening to the podcast this week. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. And check us out on YouTube as well. subscribe to the channel, give our latest episode a thumbs up. Make sure to follow us on X, Instagram, and Facebook at 13_rings podcast. Until next time, have a good day.
See ya.
Blessings.
Bye.